The illusion of spiritual free will. Are we really choosing our reincarnations? Have you ever stopped to think if, throughout your lives, you actually chose to reincarnate, or if it's all just an illusion? Many believe in the concept of spiritual free will, but there may be something darker at play. What if, in reality, you have no real choice? What if these important decisions about your soul have already been made by forces beyond your comprehension? The idea that we are here by our own decision may be a comforting but false lie. You could be trapped in a cycle, a wheel that spins endlessly, with no real impact from your will. It's worth questioning if we are really in control, or just following the orders of a larger system. Want to know more about this? Check the first pinned comment where you will find important details. Who is really deciding our return to Earth? You or higher forces? To whom do you really belong? Is your soul yours? Or is there something or someone above you defining your destiny? We think we control our path, but are we really in command? The concept of reincarnation may not be as simple as it seems. What if you're being driven to return, life after life, by higher forces that decide you still haven't learned? No matter how hard you try to be free, these entities could be manipulating your return. Your fate could be decided by others, without you having any say. It's frightening, isn't it? What if you had no option? It may be time to start questioning who's really in control. Want to dive deeper? The first pinned comment could change your perspective. Karma or punishment? The bitter truth behind forced reincarnation. Karma is often seen as a fair law, but is it really? Is reincarnation always a path to redemption, or could it be disguised punishment? Imagine carrying the weight of mistakes you don't even remember making. Your pains, your traumas, and your challenges may not just be lessons, but relentless consequences of past failures. It's cruel to imagine that we're paying for something our conscious memory doesn't even have access to. What if this is simply an imposed sentence rather than a chance to learn? It may be a painful truth, but perhaps we are trapped in a web of endless punishment. Have you ever felt like you're paying for something you don't understand? Comment below. Check the first pinned comment to dive even deeper into this complex topic. Reincarnation as a soul prison. Are we stuck in an endless cycle? Have you ever felt trapped, like life is a prison with no escape? What if reincarnation is exactly that, a prison for your soul? An endless cycle from which you can never escape. What if, instead of evolving, we are just going in circles, repeating the same mistakes, the same pains, life after life? Maybe the idea that we reincarnate to learn is just an excuse for the fact that we have no other option. Spiritual freedom might be an illusory concept, something sold to us so we accept this cycle without questioning. To discover more about this disturbing vision, check the first pinned comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more reflections like this. Why do some souls never seem to evolve? The forced cycle of suffering. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to live a life of constant suffering, repeating the same destructive patterns life after life? If reincarnation is a path of evolution, why do so many souls get stuck in these endless cycles? Maybe the truth is far more bitter than we imagine. Instead of advancing, these souls may be forced to repeat the same mistakes without having the chance to truly learn. It could be a kind of spiritual loop where progress is an illusion and suffering perpetuates endlessly. This raises questions about the effectiveness of reincarnation as a tool for evolution. What if we are doomed to live the same patterns forever? Want to understand more about this process? Don't forget to check the first pinned comment for more information. Are you paying for mistakes you don't even remember making? Imagine carrying the weight of past lives, mistakes you can't remember, and failures you never had the chance to consciously correct. It's painful to think that all the suffering you're going through now is a toll for mistakes your soul made in another existence. How can we evolve if we don't even know why we're being punished? Karmic justice can seem cruel, trapping us in cycles of pain and regret without giving us the opportunity to fully understand what we did wrong. This leaves a sense of powerlessness and injustice. How can we move forward if we aren't given the chance to remember what we need to fix? Have you ever felt this way, paying for something you don't understand? Comment below, and don't forget to check the first pinned comment to better understand how this might be affecting your life right now. Spiritual plans manipulate your life more than you realize. What if everything you are experiencing now was already determined before you were even born? What if the challenges you face were planned by higher entities, leaving you with no choice? The pains, the challenges, the losses, everything could be happening as part of a greater spiritual plan where your will is irrelevant. What if everything you're going through is part of a script you didn't write? This idea may seem comforting to some, but for many others, it's frightening. The thought that we are being manipulated from the start brings a new perspective on how we view our existence. If you're willing to explore more on this topic, check the first pinned comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Forced reincarnation as punishment. What if you have no choice? Imagine the feeling of being forced to return to physical life without your consent. The idea that certain souls are obliged to reincarnate as a form of expiation for past failures brings up the question of how much control we really have over our spiritual journey. What if reincarnation isn't a chance to learn, but a cyclical punishment imposed by a higher force? The thought of having no choice, of being forced to repeat earthly lives filled with pain, can be a real nightmare. Perhaps this cycle is far darker than we want to believe, something we cannot avoid. Want to understand more about how this might be affecting you? Check the first pinned comment for more impactful details. The painful truth. Your current physical and emotional pain may be a karmic imposition. Have you ever stopped to think that your physical and emotional pains could actually be remnants of past lives? That inexplicable anguish, the continuous suffering with no apparent reason, could be a direct result of karmic failures you don't even remember committing. Forced reincarnation places souls in continuous suffering to pay for past mistakes. But how can we correct what we don't remember? This creates a sense of powerlessness, as if we're trapped in a never-ending web of pain. Have you ever gone through this? Share your experience in the comments below. To understand more about how this cycle could be impacting your life now, check the first pinned comment. Why can't we simply evolve without returning to physical life? What if physical life wasn't necessary to evolve spiritually? Why do we need to return to a body full of limitations and suffering? The idea that the spirit needs a physical body to grow might be a trap. Perhaps there's a way to evolve that doesn't require the pain and challenges we face on Earth, but we are trapped in this cycle of forced reincarnations, repeating the same painful experiences. This belief that we need to reincarnate could be just another imposition of a larger system. Want to understand more about this challenging concept? Take a look at the first pinned comment, where we reveal more details. Is there any escape? The myth that we can choose when to stop reincarnating. What if the promise that one day we can stop reincarnating is just a comforting lie? Many believe that by reaching a certain level of evolution, we'll finally be able to escape the cycle of reincarnations. But what if that's just an illusion? What if the cycle is infinite, with no end in sight, and that spiritual freedom we were promised never arrives? The idea that we are trapped with no true escape could be the hidden reality behind the myth. This creates a sense of despair, as if we are imprisoned eternally. Want to explore more about this disturbing theme? The first pinned comment brings impactful revelations.